Namaste and welcome everyone to our new and inspiring Awakening Healers Collective, where our online community of fellow healers at all levels, from total newbies, beginners to advanced, come together to share teachings and healings from our master healers and get their personal questions answered, participate in a beautiful online private community, and so much more. And I wanted today to share with you the vision and a beautiful little teaser sample of what you will receive if you decide to join our beautiful circle, our soul family circle of intuitive healers. So I wanted to share with you how this came about. The vision is for all of us who aspire, no matter how you call yourself, whether you don't even label yourself as a healer or an intuitive, but you aspire to find more connection, more compassion, more fulfillment, more happy, healthy, wealthy, wise human, where we grow together, we learn together, we share our techniques and tips for how to shift our lives, transform our energy, and heal our body, mind, and spirit together. So that is our vision. And the beautiful part of that is, I know from my 30 years experience and my master healers as well, decades and decades, that as we attend to our own healing and upliftment and expanded consciousness, we are then radiating out that beautiful essence and energy to our planet. We are becoming a healing force in the world. And this is very, very real. So that is my small and big vision for this. First, that we heal ourselves. And we know that as we do that, we are sending that uplifted love and light to the planet. So I hope you'll consider joining us. And in order to give you a beautiful sampling of what you can expect, I've called in my master healers, Emily and Janet, to assist me today in what I call the 3 C's, which is how we're going to start off each of our live video conferences each month. So Emily is going to start us with a beautiful card reading for all of you potential peeps who want to join our circle, and she'll give you an inspiring reading to contemplate and bring more insight to your life. Janet will help us clear and center our energy today, and I will help connect to your divine spirit or self, soul or self, however you want to call it. And so without further ado, let's get into this luscious energy we've been sharing with each other and invite you in. Semele?
Hello, everybody. I'm Semele, and I'm an intuitive healer, animal communicator, and tarot consultant working from the magical Celtic land of Wales. So today I wanted to tune in, and I asked the tarot. The tarot, by the way, is a card deck, and it's basically a distillation of all the ancient spiritual wisdom distilled down into a set of images that you can use to gain insight and also to meditate on as well. So I pulled a card for us today to ask, what does this new group that we're creating here for members now and in the future, anyone who might join us, what does this group offer us as individuals? And then what does that enable us to bring to the world as a result? And the card that we've pulled, I'm going to hold it up for you, is, there we are, it's the 4 of Swords. I'm going to leave it there for a minute because I would highly recommend that after you've watched this video all through, you can come back and pause at this moment and meditate on this image yourself. And I can guarantee you'll be given more personal, individual insights for yourself through contemplating this card. But there it is. It's the suit of swords, and swords in the tarot are representing the element of air, and that is connected with your mind. So your thoughts, your beliefs, your consciousness, and also your breath, the very air that you breathe that gives you life. And this card represents, it's very beautiful, it's the number 4, which is a card of stability and foundation. And in the tarot, it represents a calm and healing space in which you can gain insight and clarity. And the 4 swords on this card represent 2 things. They represent 4 levels of consciousness, which is your spiritual awareness, your higher self, your consciousness, your subconscious, and also your ego self, the personality, because, you know, that's what we're working with every day in our everyday lives. And this card talks about integrating all of those levels of consciousness so that they are working from and towards the same goal. So they are harmonized and they are integrated. The 4 of Swords also represents a temporary, and I'll say why I've used that word later, a temporary respite. It's a haven. It's a retreat into which you can step and become refueled, replenished, and healed. So that's what it's going to give to us. And it's temporary because, as Kumari mentioned so beautifully in her introduction, it's not just about what we do for ourselves, it's about what we then radiate out to the world around us. And in this card, when you pause, you can have a look. There's a beautiful rose at the center of this image, and this is the rose of Sophia. This is the rose of wisdom, of spiritual divine wisdom. And this card also has the attributes of Jupiter in Libra, and that is the expansion of joy, of peace, of harmony, and of working in relationship that is divinely blessed. So that is what, having healed ourselves and integrated within ourselves, we are then going to take that out into the world after our own filling up. We are then going to pour that out into the world around us. And I, for one, I want to sign up for that.
Emily, I can't tell you how perfect that card is. None of us knew. It was all in the moment. So this morning I had this image, even though we were referring to the feeling that we get when we connect, and that's why we wanted to share this space with everyone, is to put it in the words that keep coming through us all, triple goddess energy. It's like this amazing triangle, containment field of light to hold the collective energies of the divine feminine and the divine masculine in perfect balance. But aside from the triple, I was getting this morning about the 4, and that's why I added the healthy, wealthy, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise. And I was hearing, and I didn't flesh it out, but I was hearing how there was something to do with the number 4 there, that those were the 4 great goals or great desires of all humanity distilled down. And so when you said the 4, I immediately went to that happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, that if we can stand in those 4 tenets or aspects, that they represent really everything that everyone aspires to. So I love this, and I love the Rose of Sophia. Anyway, I'm just really digging on this card, so I hope you all enjoy it as much as I am. And it feels very prophetic for what's about to come in this collective circle of aspiring healers. Beautiful. Janet, would you like to share a centering and clearing energy?
I would, and that was a magnificent reading. Thank you very much for that, Simile. I'm Janet. I'm an intuitive healer from the beautiful desert of Tucson, Arizona. I'm skilled in reading people's energy and helping them on their healing journey by bringing in transformative energies that help them to actually shift, especially in areas of crisis. I worked at the University of Arizona and developed a research project, and I worked with student veterans. And what we did with these student veterans was create this energy therapy project where we saw how energy can really affect and shift post-traumatic stress. And one of the things that I learned through this 2-year process was that most of the individuals that came in had so much of everyone else's energy in their space that there was no room for them. I used to say to them, if you never washed your hands, what would they look like? They'd be filthy. I said, that's what happens with your energy field. If you don't clear it out and clean it up, you end up collecting everybody's stuff and there's no room for you. So I taught techniques for them to be able to shift that energy. And I'd like to share one of those with you today. It has to do with magnets. So it's a very simple technique. It just takes imagination. So step into this time with me as if you're a 5-year-old child and I'm giving you some imagination that you can play with. Because this is what helps energy flow even better, is when you release expectations and you just step in and have fun with it. So let's take a minute, close your eyes. And as you do, I want you to just check into how you're feeling right now before we start the process. So take a deep cleansing breath and using your imagination, see a magnet the size of a refrigerator about 20 feet out in front of your body. Now imagine you can just flip a switch and give that magnet permission, because it's all about giving permission, for everything to start flowing off of your energy field from the front of your body that is no longer serving you. It can be energies that you have collected from other people. It can be their programming. It can even be ancestral energy that gets passed down generationally. So we're just going to let that just start to flow off into this magnet. And you might feel sensations in your body. You might feel a releasing. And we're not pulling to the very depth of your core. We're just creating space. So imagine now you're just going to ask that magnet to drop down into the ground. That energy gets recycled, and we're going to put one behind your back, 20 feet behind you. And just flip that switch again, giving permission for that energy to start coming out of your field. It's coming off the back of your neck, all down your spine, your hips where you collect a lot, and even on the back of your knees. We have a lot of collecting points there. So we're just allowing that to go off. We don't even have to name what those energies are. We just know we want to create space. So now we're going to let that magnet drop down deep into the earth and recycle. We're going to put one on either side of us. We're going to collect energies and release them. So flip that switch. You got one on your left, one on your right. And just give permission for that energy to just come off of your neck, your ears, your shoulders. Just releasing down. And seeing those magnets drop into the earth. And we're going to put one above our head, 20 feet, and below our feet, 20 feet. And we're going to flip that switch. And just imagine it's really cleaning off that top part of your head that gets so collected. It's almost like a salad bowl. And we collect everybody's thoughts and feelings and collect them up and think they're ours, and there's no room for us. So we're going to clear that out. And now we're going to clear out below us. Clear out your feet, clear out right at the tailbone, that wonderful energy center. Get that cleared out. And then let those drop into the ground. Just let it all recycle. So now we want to bring up a column of energy from the earth, just this wonderful energy. Just allow the earth to come up and just give it permission to start filling up your entire body. And as it fills up your body, it's starting to fill up that energy field that's around you. And most people's field are about 3 feet all the way around. So we're just going to fill it up with this wonderful earth energy. And then take a nice deep breath. And I want you to check in one more time with how you're feeling. Are you feeling lighter? Are you feeling more like yourself? So take another deep breath and just open your eyes. And the best way to kind of come out of this, because it's a deep meditation and sometimes you can go into this wonderful hypnagogic state. The best thing to do is just sort of look around the room and check what's going on around the room, look at pictures, whatever. But just enjoy this feeling, this deep sense of peace and lightness of being. And know that you have created some more space for who you truly are. It's a great technique to use several times a day. Anyway, thank you.
Oh, Janet, I haven't done this with you before, and I've never used these giant magnets as the visual, although I've done many, many clearing techniques, and I do them all the time. I have to say, those ones, especially above and behind me, they started clearing up some energies I wasn't aware of. And like I said, I'm living and breathing this stuff for 30 years or more now. And this is a beautiful daily practice. And there's always more to clear, is there not?
There always is.
So thank you. I'm loving this collective, healers collective that is already, I'm already feeling so sustained by it. So thank you. I'm still coming back in to my fullness because it really took me deep. And I mean, it was only a few minutes. So imagine, if you will, if you were receiving many, many ways to do this over time and how clear your energy and your field and your spaciousness and your mindset would be. Certainly helped me right in this moment. So I wanted to share one of my favorite ways of connecting. I am Kumari, and I have been a Reiki master healer, an intuitive animal communicator or mystic, if you will, and a spiritual teacher for, well, we won't talk about how long, but decades, going on 3, I think. And I love sharing ways to simply and directly connect to your soul and spirit. In other words, what I call your divinity, your divine self, the other part of us that we often don't know, see, or feel until we have some way to do that. And so I have learned many techniques, but I wanted to share with you my favorite for really sensing and feeling and experiencing your divine aspects. I call it connecting with the divine beloved, because you can use any form of the divine beloved. It can be the divine feminine in a form like Mother Mary or Isis or Kuan Yin, or an archangel or angel, your healing team, if you will, a spirit guide, even an ancestor. But I advise you to go big on this one. Ask for the wisest, biggest consciousness persona that you can find. If you don't necessarily believe in any of them as separate beings or spirits, it's fine. Ask to connect to your highest self, to your I am presence, to your soul, the rest of you, whatever it is you're longing to download and feel and aspire to. We're going to call that in a very hands-on way. And I'm being literal here. If you're connecting to divine masculine, for instance, you can connect with ascended Master Yeshua, or Jesus, as many people know of him when he was incarnate. Archangels like Michael or Metatron. Let me see, Krishna, Ganesh, any beings that feel like they have the Buddha, Muhammad, any beings that feel like they have wisdom for you, healing for you, connection beyond your wildest dreams. Call that in. And we're literally going to do it in a very hands-on way, as I said. We're going to ask it to be very tangible. So that's why I'm asking you to call into form, a specific form, so you can really have a relatable consciousness to connect to. All right, that's the simplicity of it. The reason I'm sharing it now is it's one of the most direct ways that I know for many people whose dream is to feel that divine presence in some form, to connect to their guides. Many people come to me for years wanting to expand their intuition and their spiritual connection in order to be a better healer, or just for their own life purpose and feeling happier and fulfilling their spiritual path, where they may have not been very sensitive. They don't have the direct knowing or the spirit guided messages, or where they're just wanting to open that further. So let's do it. All right, so you're going to close your eyes, and again, find a form of this that works for you. There's no one way to do this, and no belief system here that you have to ascribe to. Place your palms up in receiving mode. And take a few centering breaths and ask, ask, ask. Ask and you shall receive. This is so true. Ask for an aspect of your divine beloved, an aspect of highest consciousness, your soul or highest self, to come in, to form and place their hands, their energy, their essence right in your hands. Have them stand before you and connect through touch. And notice any sensations, any flow. Any movement or energy filling you up. Ask for their blessing, their wisdom, their healing energies. Ask to be filled to the brim with the highest vibrations that you can contain with ease and grace now. And breathe. Make the intention to receive fully what is here for you, what is always here for you, but we forget to ask. And even as you're asking for their energy to fill you up, you may also ask for a boon or blessing or message, something specific, a gift. It may or may not come to you directly in this moment, but ask. And allow this new flow, this new energy download, if you will, to now integrate within your being with perfect harmony and balance and ease and grace now. Allow it to integrate on every level, mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally. Coming into perfect harmony now. And I know we could hang out here for quite a time, but I'm going to ask you to ask the Divine Beloved to give the final blessing or energy exchange. And with the greatest and deepest gratitude, even if you are not sure you've had an experience or you're not sure what to make of it, feel gratitude for the moment. Gratitude for the experience. And accept it at the deepest levels. And breathe. And even as they are retreating, you're giving them permission to leave. With your hands still in receiving mode, Simile, Janet, and I are going to also connect in and beam out the highest level healing energy for all of you now. So you may experience well-being and vitality, spiritual connection, and unlimited joy. So it is. I wanted to share with you my favorite bowl. Has the highest healing quotient as far as I'm concerned. It's called Therapeutic Gold. And it has 24 karat gold. And for me, the divine vibration is very much of that golden ray of the Christic consciousness. And it's a beautiful way to help you integrate all the energies that we've been sharing with you. And so I hope that you had half of the experience I just did, which was pretty phenomenal. I'm always amazed, even when I am personally guiding something, how much comes through for me as well. It's never just feeling like I'm moving something out. It's always about filling up. And that is so what I want for all of us, is to find more and more capacity, to expand our capacity to fill to the brim with divine love light, healing essence, and joy. And so I'm hoping that you are by now getting a sense of this beautiful collective, Awakening Healers Collective, that we are creating and inviting you into. So just to recap what you will receive, this beautiful monthly live video call with my Triple Goddess team, my master healers, Emily and Janet and myself, a private online group, ongoing support and teachings that we will share with you, weekly distant healing for you and your whole family. Yes, of course, I include all your animals. That alone is worth it. The ability to get personal questions answered, it's unparalleled. Things like juicy discussions on topics like the responsibility of the healer, what it is and what it isn't. Self-healing for the healer. This is huge. Self-care, self-nurturing, self-loving. because you have to up all those levels once you start taking care of others at this level. Breathwork practices that make you a much more skilled healer. What else? Spiritual and intuitive ethics, psychic protection, so many other, releasing limiting beliefs, manifesting tools and techniques, so much more. So they will be ongoing opportunities to work with all of us and experience our combined energy, which I think is really off the charts. There's something exponentially expansive that happens whenever I have been connecting with Simile and Janet, as I've invited them into my team. It's beyond what the individual can create. And so I hope that you consider connecting with us in this beautiful sacred circle that we're forming. You'll find all the details below, how to jump in. And I wish you the best and highest healing. If we see you on the other side, that would be magical, I know, for all of you. So please consider investing in your own exponential healing, spiritual and intuitive growth. Namaste from all of us. Much love and highest healing.